As part of MPT's American Graduate Initiative, we focus this week on the work that is being done to keep kids on the path to academic success and a high school degree. Some of that happens outside of the classroom and even outside of the normal school year.
Are you ready?
Yeah!
Are you sure?
Yeah!
All right. Oh, we're going down. Hey, Mark!
Get set, go!
The tug of war between summer fun and learning activities is in full swing.
If you wanted your child to have dance lessons, violin lessons, piano lessons, if you wanted them to learn robotics, to have a STEM education, to get that interest in science and technology and engineering and math, then this is where they want to be.
Programs run by the nonprofit Child First Authority in Baltimore work with schools to keep young children in school and ready to succeed. That's important because Baltimore schools have high chronic absenteeism, even in kindergarten. Research shows early attendance is a predictor of high school graduation.
I would love to help people to dance. I want to be a zookeeper.
Oh, wow.
In order for children to be a part of Child First for the afternoon, they have to have daytime attendance. So our parents know you can't just not come to school in the daytime and then have your child come later on. So what we've done is we've made it a big thing. We give attendance incentives. We have actually outside, we have an attendance board we had for the school year where we acknowledge those kids who have been here every day, and we make a big fuss out of it. So the parents get acknowledged as well.
Now the schools that we work with have a full-time community school coordinator whose role is to increase youth opportunities.
In addition to focusing on the kids, the program builds stronger connections to parents and increases parent engagement.
We have what's called parent investment, and our parents volunteer 2 hours per month per child.
So there's a lot of issues that children face and a lot of reasons why children are absent. And this is one of the charges of a community school coordinator, is to figure out what are some of the resources that this family needs to get these children in school.
Joining us now in the studio is Ellie Mitchell, director of the Maryland Out of School Time Network. Thank you for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
What is the Maryland Out of School Time Network?
Well, MOST, as we like to call ourselves, is one of 50 statewide after-school networks that are funded by the Charles Stewart Mott Foundation. And we work for more and better after-school and summer opportunities for all of the young people in the state of Maryland.
So what we saw looked like a lot of fun, but it's more than that.
Absolutely. So high-quality programs like the ones that we saw with Child First, an excellent program in Baltimore City, they offer young people an opportunity to really go the extra mile in their learning. We know from research that programs like Child First reduce chronic absenteeism, as they mentioned. They also can close the achievement gap. So regular participation from kindergarten to 5th grade will close the math achievement gap from research that we've seen.
What do these programs look like when it's not a beautiful summer day?
Well, you know, when you're inside, there's lots of games that you can play that are both active, hands-on, but also minds-on. There's a lot of ways to infuse your STEM learning or your math learning into an activity that will move kids around the room. So usually what you're seeing in an after-school program is a youth development approach where you're really meeting kids where they are, you're keeping them active, and you're making it fun, but also kind of sneaking in the academic goals while you're working with them.
In an ideal world, would it be something that the school systems were doing as opposed to outside agencies? Would it not be a supplement, in other words?
Really what we see in terms of high quality programming is community school partnerships are the best way to go. So you have community-based organizations like Child First who really specialize in these youth development pieces, partnering with a school hand in hand, really looking at the goals and aligning their work. That is the ideal situation.
Let's talk about resources a little bit. Where does the funding come from, and what's the relationship between what you need and what you have?
Sure. Well, we have some challenges in Maryland around funding for out-of-school time programs. There is a federal funding stream that comes through the Maryland State Department of Education, 21st Century, and it funds quite a number of programs. But there are no dedicated state funds for after-school and summer programs. So a lot of it is supported by private philanthropy or parent fees. Right now, only 16% of Maryland's children have access to after-school programs during the school year, and just a third during the summer. And unfortunately, that's a lot of places where kids get meals, where they get to connect with caring adults, and where they're kept safe during the out-of-school hours.
Talk a little about the parental involvement angle on this.
Well, one of the things that we've noted is that after-school programs are often more successful in engaging parents than the school is, because it's the time that they're coming in to come pick up their child, that they have an opportunity then to interact with the after-school program and maybe learn a little bit more about what's going on in the school through that window. Also, after-school programs do great jobs of finding ways to showcase young people's work and bringing in families that way, and also connecting families to other services that they might need. So there's a lot of ways that those hours outside of the 3 p.m. Make it an easier way to connect to parents and families in the school.
How do you measure results? In the short run, you can look at we got X number of kids and parents to participate. Does anybody track it in the long term, over 5 or 10 years? How did things go for this group of kids?
Yeah, absolutely. We're seeing more and more longitudinal research around the impact of after-school programs, like the statistic I mentioned about math achievement scores. That's work by Deborah Vandell out of the University of California. We also have some local data from the Family League of Baltimore City that has been funding programs now for quite a long time, and they are seeing decreased chronic absenteeism, and they're measuring a lot of also the impact on academic and social and emotional well-being as well.
In a few seconds, as a state, how are we doing?
Well, we are not doing so well in terms of our access and equity around allowing kids to access these opportunities. We are doing great around the quality of and sophistication of the programs that are being offered.
Very good. Ellie Mitchell, Director of the Maryland Out of School Time Network. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you.